Hi.
Hi.
Well, I'm glad you could make it today.
Oh, thanks.
So, what can I help you with today? What's going on?
I'm just really tired today. I'm really tired. I'd like to talk about how tired I am.
All right, let's talk about how tired you are.
I'm tired.
This is a great start. And so, what's causing your tiredness, do you think?
Oh, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at this point. Having some troubles getting myself focused since Halloween. Halloween seemed to be kind of a pivot, and then after Halloween there was a shift. And I just feel really tired. I feel kind of disorganized. It's taking a lot longer to get things done than I anticipate. So late nights. I started working beginning of November, a couple times a week at night. So there's some extra stress there.
Wow. So, are there any types of things that you're doing to help you with your tiredness?
Well, what had happened was that I actually, through September, early October, I hit a period where I was so absolutely exhausted. So it was suggested try melatonin. So I was on melatonin, and it got the rhythm of my cycle back in. The problem now is that my sleep pattern, is back in, and I have to disrupt it again. So I'm kind of at that crux where I'm tired.
I'm wondering if maybe the time change had something to do with it too.
I don't know. It might have. Usually, I know for myself there is end of Halloween, beginning of November. I've seen it since I was a little kid. There is a shift. There's a definite shift that things seem a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it. They seem different. I know there's less light, but yeah, things have seemed darker.
So I'm hearing that since, like, the beginning of fall, you start to feel more and more tired as winter comes along? And the darkness and the time change and...
November, yeah. November. I really noticed it. October, it was just exhaustion was catching up because it was the new swing of school, not trying to get into the rhythm of everything. And by middle of October, I think the crisis point had happened, and so it was the decline because beginning stage of school, there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of new, trying to figure out Moodle. Trying to figure out Moodle.
That was fun.
Making sure that I was on top of my reading, making sure that I was actually current with what was happening. The learning process, right? So it was almost like there was a sense of, I won't say panic, but it almost felt like panic because there was a lot of anxiety. And so, and then the crux of mid-September, getting all the assignments in, panic.
And then a crash.
And then down to October, big assignment run, and then Halloween, and then it was boom. I was tired. The first week of November, I was just, my introvert said, I want to be on the couch with a blanket on my head, and I want to watch TV. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to think of anything. And then the next cycle comes in, right? So it was the up and running, okay, here we go. I'm working, a couple jobs now, and school, life's continuing, right? So I need a rest, but life is continuing. So it was just trying to balance that, figure that out.
And after adding work onto it, on top of that, that's also exhausting.
Yeah. So, and that's the new dynamic now is I don't know what it's going to look like in the fall, in the winter. After Christmas, I have to really get myself organized. That's part of my next plan is to really get myself organized. Where is my son going when I'm working night shift? What assignments do I have to do when?
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to get these doing? How am I going to
Yeah.
get these going? So what I had found with these last couple of assignments that I crammed together this weekend was that I have to give myself an average of about 30 hours per assignment because things are taking me a lot longer than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still on the, it'll take me 6 hours to throw this assignment together. I had 4 hours yesterday of complete block time that I thought that I would use and finish an assignment, and I still have another 2 hours to go on this assignment. So that block of 4 hours helped immensely, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that these assignments are taking me a lot longer than I anticipated, and I think more so because I'm tired. So there's a lot of extra dynamics.
So I'm wondering what it would look like to make a schedule like that. Like, will you write it down?
I have that.
You have it written down?
I have that schedule already.
Mm.
What I will probably add to that schedule, though, is actual blocks of time for school.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I have to start structuring it in the sense of it's going to take me 3 hours of information research. Like I think I have to start dissecting it that way. 3 hours of information research, 6 hours for hard draft, 3 hours for rewrites, so that I give myself that actual 30 hours so that I can look and say, okay, I've got 4 assignments due on the same day. I better start getting going now because it's going to take me 3 days for each assignment. That equals 12 days. This is what it's going to have to look like. And I know for myself, what I have to do is, some people can work on multiple assignments at the same time. I'm not good at that. I can start the assignment, but I need to focus all my energy on one assignment at a time to get it finished. And I think even if I was working, I would still have to. It doesn't mean I can't see multiple clients through the day, but for me to finish any write-ups that I have, I would have to see that client and then have specific time to finish their enters into their file, finish that off. I don't think I could have multiple files open trying to write about each client. I'd have to do linear one at a time.
So each block, would it be just straight work, or would you be taking breaks in between?
Oh no, I'd have to take breaks.
Yes.
Yes, it's not going to be 30 hours of...
That would be crazy.
I do...
Then you'd really be tired.
Then I'd just be insane.
Okay. Hi, we're back!
I don't know where we left off.
Okay, well, we left off at crazy, I think.
Crazy, yes.
Or something.
Yes.
Breaks in between.
Exactly, breaks in between.
There we
So
go.
I think, well, what I usually do is, depending on how stuck I am in the assignment, if I'm right into a role, like typing, thinking, writing, it's happening, I can go as long as an hour. But if I'm feeling agitated or stuck, usually it's about 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, give myself a 3-minute break, pace around, sit down, think about it, stand up, pace around. That's usually what I do. So it's kind of that thought process. And if I'm stuck, then I just put it away, and I'll get to it later. But I think, yeah, it's just planning that it's going to take me, a few extra hours than what I'm anticipating. Because what I found this time was that I was reading the information, highlighting it, and thinking about what I wanted to write, but not actually going over and writing out a hard draft. And I think if I started to do that, that might be my first step, because I noticed it was harder going from the writing process when I had read something 3 days earlier.
Oh, yes.
So if I would have read highlighted, wrote a hard draft down. Even if I hadn't gone any further with it, at least from there I would have been able to pick it up, separate it, run with the ideas, add stuff, find out if I need to research any more. So that's kind of what I noticed about this assignment that I did last night, was that I had put together a hard draft, not intentionally, but a hard draft 3 days ago, and then I got confused and I thought I'd have to scrap that whole assignment.
That
And
would be very good.
then I realized on Saturday, after I let it simmer for a couple days, and I looked at my research stuff, oh, okay, all I gotta do is break this apart into 3 separate areas, boom, 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 add some more information, got it. So I had already,
Awesome.
I'd already done that. So that saved me a whole gamut of work that I had to do.
Great.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Great.
It isn't as bad as I thought it was. Yeah.
So I hear that you're saying that getting these assignments together now are a little bit more difficult than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking a little bit more time, they're a little bit more confusing, albeit we are in the second year and they're a little bit more crazy, I think. But
Well, this is my first year in school in like 8 years. So this is my first year back.
oh, I thought you were here last year.
No, this is my first year back in like 8 years.
Oh my!
So this is me picking up and thinking of years ago of how I could just throw an essay together and like.
So you didn't even go through the first year stuff? That
I
was
did.
like years ago?
That was years ago.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
So
well, that's different.
It is different. There's an extra dimension to it. That's why things are a little bit taking me so much longer.
Now I understand.
Yeah.
You're on like the first year mentality thing that we went through last year.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Crazy and anxiety, high anxiety and go and stress
Yeah.
and no sleep.
Well, what I found was
Tired.
it was actually easier the first year. When I did it the first year, because it was my 3rd year of school. I'd taken 2 years of school before it, so it was easy for me then, because I was already in the swing of studying.
Yeah.
I already knew everything. Like, I didn't know everything, but I had my study patterns down already.
Right.
And it just went click, click, click. Where this time it's like, okay, it's a lot of thinking and pondering, and that's what I'm finding is even though I'm not actually writing out the assignments, I'm thinking about them. They're kind of simmering in the back of my mind, right? So I'm getting the information when I'm reading it, but it's taking me longer to think about what I want to say, how I want to say it, what it's going to look like at the end. So it's a learning process of relearning it. So, but the good thing about it is that even though that information that I had from first year is still there, it's linking to the new, like I'm simulating it.
Okay.
Easier, quicker. That's not the issue. So that's an easier issue to deal with. So I don't have this glut of new information that I gotta assimilate. I gotta kind of process. I don't have to worry about that. This stuff is going click, 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 click. It's just actually getting what I want to say down in a way that I want to say it.
So if we go back just a little bit about your tiredness, I'm curious to know if your tiredness is physical or if it's mental.
It's both.
It's both.
It's both. It's both. What I'm finding is that a lot of the time that I have to write is in the evenings, like when my son goes to bed at 8:30. I don't want to write then. I'm done. I'm done for the day. And I don't want to be up till 3 in the morning writing. It's just, and then have to get up and go. So the tiredness, I guess I'll stop for a minute, I'll explain something to you. The tiredness has been, it's years of insomnia, on and off insomnia. When I was single, it was easier to deal with, because when I took the first year I was single, I didn't have a child. So if I was up to 3 in the morning, it wasn't a big deal, because I could sleep till 10 or 11 the next day. I could catch up on that sleep. And I was able to have big, large blocks of time that were, especially designated for school, right?
Yeah.
I was working part-time at the time, and that was tricky, but now I've got a lot of extra responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm finding is the more responsible you are, the more people want to give you responsibility.
That's very true.
You know, we like you, you're busy and responsible, here, do more. Yes. So it's lots of little things that I've scaled back a little bit and said I can't do this right at this moment, but there are commitments that I still have that I have to squeeze in, that I haven't been able to squeeze in. Like there's stuff that's been sitting on the back burner for over a week now that I haven't gotten to, that I needs to get to, you know, that are responsibilities of other tasks that are sitting there. It's not like it's the end of the world, but it's like,
yeah,
I gotta get to these.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe we should talk a little bit about self-care.
Yes. Yes.
Self-care. Taking care of you. It doesn't sound like you have a lot of time to take care of yourself in the way that you should. No, that's my phone.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Bad phone.
We got 5 minutes here.
Okay.
So this is a summarizing. Maybe we'll summarize?
Yes, we should summarize.
Should we make an appointment to maybe talk about self-care?
Yes, we absolutely should, because it sounds like you need that. Stupid phone.
Remember to turn your phone off next time.
Okay, bad phone. Okay.
You're doing fine. Okay.
We are going to summarize now. Okay, summarizing, beginning. Okay. So, we had talked about you being tired, mentally and physically, and that you took on a new job, and you were doing that a couple nights a week. Plus you have a son, right? Plus you have school, and you haven't been back to school in a long time, which is crazy. That's awesome. But just to jump into the second year, man, I don't know. I don't think I could do that. But that's pretty impressive. And we talked a little bit about your schoolwork, how you need to organize it and put in different blocks and take breaks and get up and walk around and maybe do some housework in between.
Oh, housework does get done.
Yes. That's what I do too. Get up and do something. Yeah, it keeps you awake. And then, I don't know, what else? I think that's about it. Oh yes, and your insomnia. Yes, you had insomnia for a long time. And I can see how that would really get in the way. But I definitely think that you need to put on some more self-care there. You know, have some different ways to just relax, maybe get some breathing techniques going there or something to help you relax a little bit more. It sounds like you've got such a busy, crazy life going on there.
Well, that's what the melatonin was supposed to be. It was self-care.
Oh yeah, well that doesn't do anything for me at all.
It worked wonders for me. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was not my phone.
And we're done.
Gotta have some kind of fun in it. 3 minutes. Oh Lord. Serious? Okay.
So yes.
About anything else.
Exactly. You know, that's what the melatonin was. The melatonin was supposed to be for self-care. So you know, that's kind of changed a little bit, and that's part of what I find. I find that I make these plans, or this is where my life should. I'm going to do this, and structure. Structure works for me if it's structured by someone else.
I get it.
Structure. It's not that I can't plan or I can't structure. I can, but what happens is there's so many things that pop up in my life that I'm unexpecting that the only time I seem to be able to get my P's and Q's together is when I know that I've got an appointment at 9 in the morning. Then it's like
something that's concrete.
Yes.
Right? It's really concrete.
And because like my mom will phone me and she needs something, or my neighbors need me to take care of their dog, or something's happening, so it's like I have to try to shift. I'm shifting conscious continuously. So that's part of what I find is I like it.
Mhm.
I do like that. I like that being able to be flexible, but at the same time and I've been able to accommodate it. So there's things I've learned from these experiences in the past.
Yeah.
And so my goal basically is just to make it week by week and assignment by assignment, month by month, term by term. You know?
That's a good idea. Take little chunks instead of such big steps.
And that's exactly it. I mean, people are talking about where they're going next year and next term, and I'm like, hey man, I just got to make it to like the 18th of November. I got assignments that got to get done.
Yeah, yeah. Leave it alone till then.
And then once the 18th is done, then it's like, okay, then it's December 10th.
Yeah.
That's my next big jump, right?
That's
so
right.
that's how I've kind of planned it. So.
Okay, right on. Well, I guess next time we get together, we'll talk more about self-care and see how much you're sleeping then and how crazy you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Done.